Welcome back to the channel, guys. Hopefully you're all doing well. This week's episode, a little bit of everything really. Did some digi showers, filled up the underfloor heating, pressure tested some pipes, and we started on the unvented cylinders and stuff in the roof. I didn't get them finished in this episode, but I should sort of show you what I've started, and yeah, I'll go into more detail next episode. To be honest, it was so hot up in the roof anyway, the camera probably would have overheated. It's been super hot this week, as you're probably all aware. So yeah, we're making really good progress on this job now. I actually needed to be away this week, but obviously I didn't quite get it done. Jacob had a couple of days off as well. When you're not feeling well, the heat doesn't help anything, and it has been roasting, especially up in the roof. We actually had a torrential hailstorm as well. I've never seen anything like it. It's dented all my bonnet. It's close followers of the channel will know I only just had a new bonnet put on this van as well. It's absolutely knackered it. I'll post a little picture up here somewhere. But yeah, I've never seen weather conditions like it. It went from like 30 degrees to about 16, and the hailstones absolutely pelting down. Got it on dash cam as well, so I might show you a little bit at the end. But unreal, the weather. I don't know, I've never seen that in this country, to go from that hot to that sort of, not cold, but the change in temperature. Unreal. But yeah, we'll get straight on to this episode. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. As always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the episode. And we did just have enough pipe to do all that, like Jacob was right. These are all done now, so I've just got to make the ends in. I always Loctite them and I don't use the washers. We'll get these pressurised up, and then we can move on to the next job. All my cylinders and everything's coming today, so we can get them all up in the roof. It's super warm already. It's only like, what time is it? 8 o'clock in the morning. I've already got a sweat on. Probably need to take my hat off actually. But we've got all the pipes to lag. I want to try and get stuff tested, and then cylinders and stuff like that. But that probably won't be for a couple of days by the time we've got everything lagged and tested out. But this job is starting to come together now. So I can't actually find my tag on that one. So I've just labelled it up. That one's all done. That was in previous videos. All that's already screeded in. So we'll get these filled up. And yeah, I've just got to pipe this one up as well. I'll bring these through in the right place, drill through my wood, and get them flow returns piped in. Right, I always like to fill mine up with a pump. So what I've got is just a suction pump there, and I'll blast through the manifold, through the flow, and wait till I get water back on the return. It saves a little bit of water this way as well, and I'll just do one at a time. So at the minute, I've got that one open. You can see it's going through there. That flow gauge is pulled all the way down. So when we get some water back on the return, that'll be that circuit full, and we'll just blast all the air out of it. We'll do one at a time until we've got all the air out of all these ports, and obviously making sure we've got no leaks. We'll just open another one up, just because my bucket's getting a little bit full. So we'll get these all filled up, and make sure we've got no air in the circuits. So we'll open a couple up because my bucket's getting full. So you just twist them, obviously make sure your head's open at the bottom. Making sure they're all open. You can see we're filling these up now, and the bucket should start to drop. Obviously you can just do it with the hose connected, one in, one out, but I've always done it this way, and it's always worked for me. So whatever works really, as long as you get all the air out the circuits and it does the job, that's all that really matters. And this way what I do is I shut the return off, let it build up on the flow, and then you can trap your pressure in, so you know if it's pressurised up then. So it's only a cheap pump, just a machine mart. I think it's a Clark, can't remember the model, but it's nothing special. It's just a Clark plus submersible pump, not submersible, suction pump. So it just sucks through that hose there, and then chucks it back through there. You can see that's starting to get some back now on them circuits. Obviously it's completely full of air. So we'll put a little bit more water in the bucket, and once you get it to a level, it finds its own level then. So we've got them open. So these are all open now. So they're all filling up. I've just got my hose on trickle, and then it should start to come back to. See how it's full of air? We need all that air out the circuits, because obviously the underfloor heating won't work properly with air in it. So that'll take about 15 minutes I would have thought for an 11-foot manifold, just to get it full, and then we'll just do one circuit at a time so it's completely full of air. Then we'll just do one circuit at a time to get all the air out. Yeah, I'm just going to leave this a minute because all my stuff's now here. So I think most of these are full, obviously completely full of air, but I think we're pretty much full on water. So yeah, I'll go and take delivery of my stuff and then continue with this in a second. So back up in the roof, I'm just getting these cylinders positioned. They've just arrived on site. I was filling the underfloor up, but I just wanted to get these up out of the way. The bottom bits have just flicked off as I've lifted them up. It's not the end of the world. I'll pop them back on. So I've got 2 cylinders going this end, and I've got 1 going this end. That's the low loss header, which we'll probably put, I don't know, probably that end actually, because we've got main flow return from the boiler coming through, and then all the underfloor heating stuff is over here. So we'll probably put low loss header there, and then take 2 sets of primaries across for them cylinders that side. We've still got to bring hot cold through that wall and then pick up that end, but yeah, you can start to see what we've been doing when you get this sort of cylinders positioned. So yeah, we'll look at, I might even take them flow returns under this plywood and then straight into the low loss header. I can jig them around, but up here I'm not holding anybody up, you see. So we've gone for the Gledhill 150. They come with a 25-year for what it's worth guarantee, so they're just stainless steel unvented indirect cylinders. We've got 19 litre expansion vessels to go on these, which should be suitable for the secondary circuit as well. And Jacob's just getting the accumulator up, so I'll grab hold of this. So I've got that one all pumped up to 4 bar, no air in it. I'm just going to do the same on this manifold. This one won't take as long, and they're all done then. I'll bring them flow returns through my bath and everything. Can you see it through there? I just want to get that set up as well, make sure I've got that tap in the right place and the waste and everything. I've still got to put the legs on that. And then, yeah, we've got cylinders. Obviously, I want to get all the pipes lagged, and then we can have a look at the cylinders then. Probably, well, it's probably a day lag in pipes, to be fair. We've got loads to lag everywhere. We've still got 1 or 2 bits to finish off as well, but we are getting there. Right, I'm just bringing my flow and return through, just lining that one up. I soldered the male lines out of position, so I just screwed that in there, drew through there, and then soldered 2 elbows up onto there, and then the flow will come out the bottom. I'll line it up and we'll just go straight through the wall. Do I put a drain off? I might put a drain off tap on there as well. I know Jacob didn't on the other. You can actually drain them through here anyway, so it's not the end of the world. We're going to have valves up in the roof so you can isolate stuff. So you're only going to have a drop of water. I'll probably pop one on. But yeah, we'll just get this bit done, get that drilled through. Manifolds are all up to pressure. Perfect. So they're both at 4 bar, and that'll be fine. Right, I've done it like that. I wanted to do it with an M&F, but I didn't have one, so I've just 45'd it. I dumped the stick out past it anyway, so I've got a drain off on there. They're all connected in now, and that should be fine. I think everyone's on dinner. I don't actually stop. I'll just show you what Jacob's been cracking on with this. So he's got all these flow returns tucked through. Well, they're flow returns, they're hot, cold and secondary, through to the other side where them cylinders are going back. And then pretty much got radio Gaga on. I've just run them 2 in. All the underfloor's filled up. Just going to extend them through because there's a little box in there now. Still got the waste to sort on that, but I'll probably do it after it's been studied out. So yeah, we're getting there. This one's been a slog really. I say, it all starts to come together at the end. It's just the majority of the work on these sort of jobs is all on the first fix. If you don't get your first fix right, you're absolutely knackered, but all the frames are in, a lot of the copper's in, we've just got the cylinders to do in the roof. So yeah, it's coming together, thankfully. I've got sweat on today, it's about 30 degrees, plenty warm enough. I'm just having a look at these. These are the Myra ceiling heads. I'll start that again. Well, I'm just having a look at these Myra ceiling heads. I've had a look at the bath, it fits perfectly. The tap and everything clears perfect. So what you've got with these is, obviously you need to, I know there's no shower here, but obviously we need support there at the top. That chrome cover plate will go on after, and then you've got a speed fit elbow. I'm not a fan of speed fit. Well, it's not even speed fit, is it? It's a fake speed fit. That's what Myra sends, so that's what I'm going to use. Just have a look at these showers. We've got the Myra digi. I think they're the Myra remotes. Every other shower I've ever seen has come with come with, you know, the plug and play, can't find them here, the plug and play controllers, but these are wireless. I've never seen wireless ones before. So you've just got 3 AA's in there by the looks of it, and you just screw that on the wall at the end. Obviously that controls your digi box. I imagine that lights up as well to adjust the temperature. So there's nothing you can adjust in here. They do pumped and unpumped versions. Obviously we're on unvented, so we don't need the pump one, so you just take hot, cold, and then we've just got one supply out, which is obviously the head. It sends you all your ISO valves. I hate horrible push fit ISO valves, but that's what they send. So that's what you sort of fit, and then that one pushes on the outlet, and then that connects onto the head. So you just screw them down in the roof wherever you want them. Normally there's some tabs that spin out, screw them down, hot and cold in, that out, and then it just wires up on a spool, which the electrician will leave up there for us, or he'll connect it up. But never seen wireless ones before. Normally you have like a data cable and just push in the back. But that's what they are. So I'm presumably, because we've got 5 going in, we'll have to, I imagine they come pre-paired anyway, but if not, we'll have to pair them to the box, otherwise you'll be turning on the shower in the opposite room. So yeah, we'll get these set up, and then we can get all this side pressure tested then. Just a Milwaukee cut. Okay, so Milwaukee does actually cut that quite well, so we should be able to put our push fit elbow straight on there. I'd double check the instructions because I wouldn't normally put push fit on brass, but it should grip it if that's what they've said. So I think I'm going to set them all about that height. That's about 7 foot. So I think it should be fine. You wouldn't want them much lower, and you wouldn't want them much higher. So there is a chrome, obviously a chrome cover cap that goes over the top. You can push them on after, and then the head just screws on. So what I'll do is I'll clip it at the top, take that into the box, and that one's all set up. We'll just make sure it's straight both ways. I can't really see how it's supposed to do them. I've seen them before where they screw into like a back plate, almost like an outside tab kit. Then ones seem a little bit better, but this is what they've sent, so this is what we're fitting, and that should be alright. That's bang in the middle of the shower. So well, I think it is if I've measured right. I'll double check that because it looks off centre. I'll double check to make sure I've got that in the middle. Yeah, I've measured wrong there somehow. Yeah, it's off centre, so that needs to be in the middle. Good job I check it. So I think I'm 100mm off. So I'll set that across. We all make mistakes, but as long as you notice them, and then we'll get it piped up in the roof. Set the laser up this time, I won't get it wrong. Yeah, I got it 100mm out. Good. That's why you always check stuff, because when you're rushing around and it's hot, you can easily make a mistake. So we'll bang it there, and that's in the middle this time. So these are your isolators for the units. There is an arrow on these actually, so they just push on there like a standard speed fit connection. So make sure you get the arrow going the right way. So it's the fat ends into the unit, I think. A bit dark in here, but can't even see it now. Yeah, arrow going that way. So fat end into the unit. Push on there. So they're your isolators. Not that they're brilliant, but mine are normally not too bad to be fair. And then that's your one that feeds the head. And then, as I say, they just flex in, and I'm assuming they come prepared, but we have got some instructions if we do need them. We only need them if we get stuck. So we get this, they tabs to screw it down. We get that screwed down in the roof, and then we'll just pipe it up. I've already got hot and colds across. Well, I'll show you in a second anyway, but I've left them 22 tails off, and my box is going to sit on that plywood up the top. So we've got 22 hot, we'll reduce down to 15, 22 cold, again reduce down, and then that's our shower head coming through the ceiling, so we'll get this bit done. So we're up in the roof. It's quite warm up here today, as you can probably imagine. It's sort of midday as well, so hottest part of the day really. Luckily there's no insulation or anything up here yet, so we'll get these showers put in. I'll spin you around and show you. So I've got my torch. As I've already explained, hot, cold in, which are coming off there, and that's our head. So we'll get this screwed down somewhere sensible. There should be nobody else coming up here. This is sort of the furthest point that anybody's going to be going anyway, so there should be nobody walking on here. Obviously you don't want to put any insulation on top of it here either, but obviously it needs to be able to vent. So we'll just screw it down through there, and then we'll start to look at get some of this piped up, whether we swing that way. Obviously I need to support that head. I'll use some standoff clips and make sure that's properly supported, and it's just a case of swinging across. The third pipe is the secondary circulation, so we've got hot water directly to this point, and then it just picks up that bath down there. So this is like the end of the run here, if that makes sense. So we still need to lag all these, as I've already said, so we're going to have a massive lagging day tomorrow, get all that crashed out. These are heating pipes. I've not put that clip top on. Look, you rough bugger. So that's just the towel rail circuits. They go across there and pick that towel rail up. So my next little job is just get these showers done, and then we can get out the hot box. First time pulling a bend with one of the Monument benders. It's Jacob's actually. It was up in the roof. Jacob's doing them, so thought I'd use his rather than drag my one up here. They're actually more portable, but obviously they do a 22 version, but you can only bend 15mm with that one. So I've just pulled that across, and hopefully, yeah, that should go into my cold. So we'll have to shorten that back and then shorten that into there, and that'll do that. Push that in there like that, and that'll go straight across onto there. Might sound pretty obvious, but don't go soldering onto your plastic connections because you'll just melt them. So always solder them bits out of position. We'll also need to flush these pipes out as well, so we don't get any flux or debris in the digi box. So this one's just going to swing up and over across onto that hot there. Just reduced it down, and then I'll just set the head up with some clips. I've got my clip box up, and we'll just screw that across and get that bit set in. Right, that's got the hot and cold connected up onto them. That should be no issue at all. Ideally, obviously, you'd bring them in the right place, but we didn't have the showers when we put the pipework in, and I'm not cutting new tees in, so I've just gone off where I put the tees originally. So I'm just going to swing this one in. What I'll probably do is double space clip that up and then just kick it back down to support that head. I'll use some standoff clips, which I think I've got in that bucket, and we'll get this bit done. Right, we'll have a look how we're going to do it. So I think a couple of them, I think they're the wrong spaces for them clips actually, but we can end up cutting them down. I've got all sorts of different ones, because what we don't want is that speed for elbow pulling on that chipboard, so we want to space that up. So two spaces will be enough just to get that up so it's not touching the plywood, and we'll put a double clip there to support it, and then we'll just kick back into there, I think. Right, so doing it like that head will be well supported. Can I get my hands underneath? Yeah, that'll be fine, because obviously you're not going to be swinging on that shower head, it only needs to hold in place. So make sure they're tightened up on them speed feet. See how much I'm sweating, and then we'll just have to kick. I think we'll just about get it. We'll just have to kick that down into there, and that should do it. Right, we'll just get this one soldered in. I've disconnected it off the shower, so hopefully I can prop the camera somewhere and get a flip the camera on. I'll put it there. We'll put it there. Be pleased when this bit's done. I cannot emphasise how hot it is up here. I know I've got my hat on still, but stopping the sweat from dripping in my eyes at least. It is roasting, but at least this bit's done. So I've just got that speed fit socket that they send out to connect back on. There is a little gap in between there actually, but that's how it's supposed to be. And then that's all connected up. We'll make sure they're tight. Once that's cooled down, we'll get that one connected in. And then tomorrow, I just put my hand on my gas lamp. I just put my hand on my gas lamp. That was hot. I wish I hadn't done that. Wish I hadn't done that. Yeah, right across the bottom. We're good. We'll live. That'll just blister a bit. We'll be alright. You know, I've never done that, ever. I just put my hand straight down like that, straight on top of the gas lamp. It's not too bad. It'll probably blister, but it is what it is now, isn't it? Nothing I can do about it. That's plumber's instant pain relief, that is. Quick freeze. So bang it on your burn, or if you trap your hand or anything like that, bang that straight on, numbs the pain instantly. Probably not recommended, but it does the job. That's why you should always read the instructions, look, because there's some sealing plate assembly mount thingy my bob is. Although I don't quite know what they're for, because that other pipe won't fit through there. I have to read the instructions. Yeah, I'll have a look. Although the way we've done them should be alright, because they are supported. It's just whether you can use that speed fit elbow on the top. I don't know what them bits for. We'll have a look. The instructions we've got aren't actually for the ceiling mount ones anyway. They're for like the riser rail type ones. I don't think that's the riser rail. Is it the riser rail? Falling supply tubes. So no, if the cameras will focus. So we haven't even got the instructions for them ones. But I think the way we've done it will be fine. It's just whether you can use that speed fit elbow on the top. I don't know how you'd connect onto that anyway, so I'll have to Google it. But anyway, the pipes are up there, so we can sort that bit in a minute. I'm not that bothered. I've got too much to do to worry about. They send you a nut and olive. Yeah, but they don't send you the instructions out for them, because they're obviously for ceiling fed risers, which we haven't got the rest of the bits for them. Ours were always down to be ceiling fed. So we've literally got... I don't see why they'd send you a push fit elbow out if they didn't want you to use it. That's obviously the plate to cover the top. Although again, them instructions aren't for the ceiling head ones, are they? I don't know. That's one of the digi controllers. They're just the cover plates. I don't know. I'll have a look online. All sorts of stuff, but probably none of the right bits. They only seem to have sent me 2 of the cover shrouds as well. Obviously we need a few more. They were just all loose in the box. All the shower head bits were in here. I've just unwrapped it. And then obviously they're the heads. We know what they are. All that's rubbish. That's all rubbish. And then I was going to put all my shower stuff in one box. So we've got the right amount of speed fit elbows for the top. We'd have had the right amount of them, but we've only got 2 of them. So unless they've been mixed up in the rubbish. Are they in here? It's in there. It might be in here actually. You know, I'll have to go through it all. No, there's nothing in that. It's just packaging. I don't know. This is why you need to. This is why you always go through everything to make sure you've got everything. It's just all rubbish. So we've only got 2 of them. I'll have to get onto the supplier. Yeah, there's definitely not in there. There's definitely not there. That's how hot it is today. Look, the underfloor heating's gone up to 6 bar. It was at 4 bar when I put it in. We reckon that's how they're supposed to go. So that plate just basically holds it and then stabilises, so it's rock solid. So I think that's how they go, and then the speed fit elbow on the top. There was no instructions with them, so that's best guess. But that should be fine, as long as it's solid and we've got something to screw to. The chrome goes over the top and then the head just screws on, and that'll be fine. We're just getting all the parts tested at the minute. We're just pumping them up to just over 3 bar. We're leaving them for, it's technically 1.5 times working pressure for 1 hour, but you'll know straight away if you've got a leak. I did actually have a leak on one of my tap connections over there onto the systems, but we've got that sorted. So we just doing all this side. So this one's fine. We're going to test that heating. We could have linked them together in theory, but with the compressor it's not too bad. So all the hot, cold secondary, we've just got one more heating to test over here. This side's all done. And we're busy, well, it's really busy today on site, but we're busy lagging pipes, aren't we, Jacob, at the minute? So this job is coming together. Just getting everything tested, everything lagged today. A little bit short on lagging, but we'll get done what we can. Hopefully get everything tested. That's the plan. So all you do with this is select your pressure, Jacob. I've not actually got a Milwaukee one, but you can set your pressure, switch it on. Go on, switch it on, mate. And that just builds it up, and you'll see it rise on the gauge. So, and hopefully there's no leaks. So we'll just leave that now. It's just on 3 bar. I know my gauge is a little bit bent, but we know where it is. As long as we know where it is and that doesn't drop, we should be good. So just test that left-hand pipe all the way back, and then this wing is all done then, all tested, and then we've just got a lag. We've basically started from that end and we're just bringing all the lag in this way. So there's a bit to do in here. I don't think I've quite got enough for all of this, but we'll see what we can get done. There he is, look. A quick little tip with these, testing your waste on these wall hung frames. I always get the pan connector thing that comes with them, and then just a bent pan connector or a flexi, whatever you've got. Push that in there, and then we can tip some water down that. I can't do it one hand. So we can tip some water down that, make sure we've got no leaks on any soil pipes, and they're all set up then. So we've tested all the hot and colds this side, just got the waste to do. I've got my little funnel for my 1.25 ones. So I'll get some water down these, make sure there's no leaks, and these are sound then. They can board all this in then. Just got a little bit of lagging to finish as well. Jacob's up there busy now doing it. Having to finish it off the old fashioned way today, my mate's off ill. So just got the last couple to do, and then I've got 1 or 2 bits to finish off downstairs, and then we're up here doing all these cylinders, but that'll probably be on the next video. I've got an accumulator over there, I've got all my pipe work coming back to this point, all lagged up. So boiler flow and returns, they're towel rail circuits across, then we've got hot, cold and secondary across here. They're just on 15mm, they're just basins. Underfloor heating circuit, got more hot and colds over there, more hot and colds over there. Underfloor heating circuits this side. So yeah, we've got most of it lagged. So I'm back on this one today, up in the roof. We're going to do these cylinders and the header and everything. I had an early start this morning, and I've already got, I actually applied it yesterday, or sterling boarded it yesterday. I've just started on the header, the pumps let me spin the light round. So I've started on this, got the flow and returns tucked into the header, got my pump set up, got my zone valve set up. I'm just setting up. I'm not 100% sure what I'm supposed to do with these. Obviously I'm limited for space up in the roof, so I've had to mount that expansion vessel like that. It's not ideal, but I think the water will still drain out of it for Legionella. So I've got that expansion vessel, I've got this heat recovery unit in the way. I've got to pick these flow and turns off from that underfloor, them over there, and Jacob. We've got 2 more cylinders over there that Jacob's doing. So I'll try and get some shots as I go along. I am under a bit of pressure. It's not too hot up here at the minute. What time is it? It's 9:43. I think I was on site I was early this morning. So yeah, I'll see what I can get done today. Hopefully we'll get a lot of this in. That's the plan anyway. Right, I'll have to drop this secondary circulation back into the cold feed because there's no separate tapping on these cylinders. To get tapping on a 150 litre cylinder, they needed 6 weeks to make it. So all we'll do is come out, put a single check valve, and then the pump will push it back. In that way, that'll be absolutely fine. You can do it that way. It is better with the tapping, but you can do it that way just the same. So that's my cold feed. Composite valve will go. I'll probably mount that on the timber that way, and then have the expansion coming off the bottom. You don't want your expansion on the top side because obviously it won't expand. There is a check valve inside there. The other thing to mention with secondary circulations, you need to make sure that expansion vessel is big enough. Sometimes you have to put an additional one on the secondary circ, but we've got a 19, I think that's it, is it an 18 litre expansion vessel. It's only a small secondary on this, so it'll be fine. So I'll just get this cylinder piped in, hot off the top obviously, and yeah, getting there on this end then. Little progress update, it's about dinner time now. It's quite warm up here, but I'm not complaining. People pay to go in saunas, so most of that's done over there now. Let me get the torch on. It's dark, I can't even stretch my legs up here. Oh, let me sit on this steel. I've put this here so I can sit on this steel and plumb it all in, look. So most of that's plumbed in. Fill loop, I've still got screw my drain off, auto air vent on top. Done all this cold feed to the cylinder, so I've kept my composite valve above the cylinder best I can. So I'm just piping in the cold mains at the minute, which is at 22 going across. Haven't done the primary circuits yet. I'm not that worried about the primaries because I get everything else filled up without doing the primaries. Need to pick up some Munson clips as well because none of that's clipped. So Munson clips, expansion vessels in, that's the best I could think of doing with that. So you can isolate each cylinder, hots in, just got to pick up the digi shower off that one. So yeah, most of the circuits are getting there. Jacob's getting on alright as well, got this heat recovery in the way. So I'm just going to do this cold. We've got the accumulator set up. Jacob's, well, he's getting on with them 2 cylinders over there. He's getting there with it. So yeah, we're getting on alright, it's just warm. I've not really been able to film much today as well. To be fair, the GoPro would overheat. But yeah, we're getting on all right.